From Ashland, Oregon, home of William Shakespeare and progressive politics, and broadcasting live from the Southern Oregon University Digital Media Center and the RVTV studio, it's the So Not So Late Night Glamour Dave show, and recorded before a non-existent studio audience with a skeletal crew of certified public access producers. You can expect to see tonight's guests, whoever they may be, the Glamour Dave Comedy Players, and the Rogue Valley Public Access Orchestra. Now, here's your host, David Glamour Dave Nienow.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another fine live edition of the So Not So Late Night Glamour Dave show. I'm your host, David Glamour Dave Nienow, and once again, we're trying to produce a nice, fine comedy live talk show. And so tonight, I have some special guests. First of all, I have, after a bit of a break of musical guests, I have tonight with us, we have Jen Ambrose, who is going to be performing tonight. And so she is vying for the role of the Public Access Orchestra, which is such an important, critical element to the musical element of this show. And so we thank Jen for coming on to the show and applying for that role of Public Access Orchestra. So thank you very much, Jen.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. All righty. So, and tonight we have Cassandra Wass as my host sidekick for the evening. So Cassandra, you come on out and... my TV wife, yeah. So Cassandra's here tonight, and she's going to help me keep me on track, if that's even possible, with the interview.
Yes, on track. You know, that's what TV wives are for.
That's right. Yeah. Keep me in line.
That's right.
Right.
Okay.
So you want to sit down? And then
I would love to.
And then
Yes,
get yourself hooked up, and then we will introduce our first guest. Our guest for this show segment is David C. Hill, who is a local filmmaker, and we're going to talk about his latest movie production. It's a movie short called Bullet of Time, so we're going to talk about that and his life as a filmmaker. So David, come on out. All right, David, thanks for coming on to the show. So let's sit down here, and we'll get hooked up and start the interview. Okay. Okay. All righty. Well, welcome, David, to the show. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So to explain to the audience, you and I met just in the last year as members of SOFAM.
SOFAM, right?
That's right. And you just completed a new movie short called Bullet of Time.
Or it's, yes, in its final stages.
In its final stages of production? And,
Yep.
Yeah, okay. And so we're going to have a little bit of a short clip from that here in a short while. But in talking to you, my understanding is that this is kind of like a memorial to Rod Sterling, as someone that you knew.
Yeah, Rod Sterling. I was, when I was back in the 60s, when I was an undergraduate, I was lucky to get into a seminar with him on screenwriting.
Oh, wow.
And
Wait, so he's the guy who did the Twilight
Twilight
Zone?
Zone, yeah.
Okay,
and
because
also
you know I'm
several-
zoning out here.
Several
okay,
Emmys, and I was really fortunate to get into that. It was actually supposed to only be for graduate students, and I was an undergraduate. I snuck in.
Well, okay,
It was a good experience.
Yeah.
I remember the first session. He said, "If you're going to be a screenwriter, you got to write something from your own life." And I thought, why, this guy lives in the Twilight Zone? How can you do it? But as I learned and studied his work and others, that's very true.
Yeah.
If you're not writing something out of your own life, you're plagiarizing somebody else's.
Yeah.
And this was back in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So that's definitely the Twilight Zone.
This is
I'm
a
from
Twilight.
Los Angeles. I
Yeah.
know that. It's
Yeah.
all the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, well, I've only driven through Los Angeles, so, and just like one time, and so.
Did you have a Bermuda Triangle experience?
Well, I remember driving through driving by the warehouse that Howard Hughes used to own, and I remember driving by the Playboy headquarters. So those are the two things I remember about driving through Los Angeles.
I see you had your radar on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to work for Howard Hughes, but that's another story.
Oh,
That's
okay.
another big story. Okay.
So, what were you doing? You took through the screenwriting seminar with Rod Serling.
Yes.
And then did you? What did you do after that in terms of career-wise? And,
Okay, well, he said I had a lot of promise as a screenwriter,
Yeah.
and then, so I said, oh, well, now I'm thinking of big bucks, and I investigated how much screenwriters actually make. And and I realized there's no way I'm going to raise a family or have a career on this. So I decided I would just wait until after I retire, and
Yeah.
I'll do something more lucrative, like be a rocket scientist, which is what I ended up doing. But and after when time came for me to retire, I retired, except something had happened in between. That the personal computer had been invented.
right. Yeah.
And everybody all of a sudden thought they were a screenwriter, anybody who could sit down at a
Yeah.
keyboard. So the competition between the 1960s and the 1990s, it was impossible.
Isn't it always that way though? Like
Yeah.
you're a rocket scientist and then you become a filmmaker. You know, it's just
Yeah.
it's a
Oh, yeah.
natural progression.
Well, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
or like computer guy to like screenwriter, millionaire. Well, now you can be a millionaire.
Yeah.
In it, but back in those days, I guess you couldn't, huh?
Yeah, and you worked, and as in your career as a rocket scientist, you were working with NASA, correct?
Yes, I worked at the Kennedy Space Center for 15 years.
Yeah. And what space missions did you work on during that
I
time?
was part of the design of the launch processing system for the space shuttle.
Oh, okay. All right.
And
Wow.
so programming,
Yeah.
and it was fun.
Yeah. Well, not many people get to claim that officially that they're a rocket scientist. So.
Well, it's not that.
He's a rocket man.
Yeah.
Rocket
Yes,
man.
when I first joined up, I thought I
Jet,
would
rocket
be
man.
really on the cutting edge, but it turns out that the software and hardware that they were using was ancient.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want to take any chances on changing what worked.
Right.
Right,
Right.
yeah.
So I really fell behind in my
Yeah.
career in the computer world, because I was stuck with all this antique software and hardware that had managed to put a man on the moon, but was pretty obsolete by the time.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Well, government thinking being what it is,
Okay, yes.
is that
I know you're an expert. Yes, tell us all about it.
well, I know that the Department of Defense, they like to rely on old, established, solid computer systems in the nation's defense network, because it's more impossible to break into because it's so old, like Fortran
Well, it's
systems.
We counted on that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like if it isn't broke, don't fix it.
That's right.
And don't create a new one, please.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Anyway.
It's too much money.
Yeah. So.
Anyway, what I really wanted to do was get into screenwriting anyway.
Yeah.
So, and I retired in '93 and started writing screenplays
Yeah.
and plays. I had several plays produced on around the country,
Wow.
but and I converted some of them to screenplays.
Right. And so then, which was your first film production that you got going based on one of your screenplays?
Well, I tried to market all these screenplays,
Right.
and a few nibbles, few awards from, but they don't mean anything, and realized I'm not going to get any film make, and I'm getting older and older, and I'm no longer a promising young man, so I was figured out that the only way I'm ever going to get a film made is to make it myself.
Right.
So I cashed in some of my retirement money and made a film in 2016, which was god awful.
Well, it's always it's like a pancake, right?
Right,
The
yeah.
first pancake,
Yeah.
you got to
It
throw it
was,
out.
yeah.
Yeah,
And,
for sure.
And then,
Then
but,
do the next one.
but then I decided to really take advantage of some of the wonderful talent we have here in Rock
Yes.
Valley.
Yeah.
People I've met in SoFam.
Good talent.
And put together a real team of professional people
Yeah.
for the second film.
Yeah.
For sure.
And it turned out pretty well. It's just amazing to see. Got Ray Robinson as a director, and
Yeah.
he's been experienced and made many films, and he put together his team, and we worked together on so many films that they became like clockwork. It's so wonderful to see them
Yeah.
how they work together. Everybody knows what their job is and what
Right.
to do.
Yeah. So it's now this your latest film, Bullet of Time, which is this is what, your second?
This
or
is my
third?
second film.
Second film.
Yes.
Okay. And so this is
Well, okay. I did do some writing on a film that is in Hollywood that is Mayor. It's supposed to come out soon. But I don't know how much of my stuff they kept.
yeah, right.
Oh,
So,
nice.
so I haven't. The director hasn't not let me see any of it yet, so I don't know.
Okay.
So it may be my third, but it's probably my second film.
Yeah. All right. And
So what's Bullet of Time about?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm excited because Bullet of Time.
Okay.
That's great.
Basically, the story is a man who is going crazy. He's with jealousy of his beautiful girlfriend and thinks she's unfaithful to him. She walks into the coffee shop where she works, and he shoots her right in the
Yeah.
chest.
It's over.
Except it's not. It's
Yeah,
not
that's
over
right.
because as a mysterious stranger happens to be sitting in the coffee shop, and he managed to stop the bullet in midair,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
they discuss it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. So now we have a clip of that.
Oh.
So wait, so just out of thin air.
Yeah.
stops it right
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
hanging in
So
the air.
yeah, so we have a clip from that, and so the control room can bring that up. It's about a minute and a half or so clip.
I wouldn't do that. While the bullet's kinetic energy
And he's a marvelous actor.
it still retains the thermal energy it had leaving the chamber.
What?
It's hot. Don't touch it.
What happened?
I took the liberty of suspending time for you.
How?
No, time is just a dimension. Some of us can speed it up or slow it down. Not stop it, but slow it down so much it is virtually stopped.
Who are you? You stop time. Are you an alien? Are you God? Are you even real?
Not an alien, not a god. I am as real as you need me to be.
I didn't mean to pull the trigger. I squeezed without thinking. It was just 1 second out of my whole life.
The actual trigger pull was exactly 0.2 of a second.
Then?
The bullet left the muzzle at 1,000 feet per second. I stopped it after 3 feet. You are, temporarily, not a murderer.
No, you don't understand. I never meant to shoot her.
You had loaded and locked, leveled and aimed.
To scare her, to convince her to come back.
Yeah. Okay. So we're back. So yeah. So we won't reveal the surprise ending, but that was a nice little moment that I liked in that. And the thing that when I was watching it, I kept looking at the young woman's the waitress in that coffee shop, and I kept looking at that thinking, God, that looks a lot like my ex-girlfriend. It's like, is that her? Did she change her name? Because that was like, man, she's like a dead ringer for my ex-girlfriend.
A dead ringer. Huh?
Yeah.
No, she's,
Yeah.
Oh
So
my
yeah, look good.
that's Catherine Franklin. She's been a professional model for years, and and it was just amazing how she was able to hold that pose
Yeah.
for long without batting an eyelash.
Yeah.
And then when we had break to take 5, get back into that exact same pose. I was
Yeah,
really
no,
impressed with her.
Yeah, no, the
job
best
she did on
models
that.
can
Oh,
do that very
gosh, yeah,
consistently.
right.
Models and mimes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. My model client, Tara Caballero, who I've worked with for like the last 20 years, I mean, she's got that ability. She can just repeat the same pose.
She's a
on-
mime? No, she's a model. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Model mime.
Yeah, so, but she's, this
Could be a
is,
new career for her. I'm just here to crack the jokes.
yeah, well, you do a great job at that, so. So, where are we at, God, Mike, in the time?
We are 16 minutes into the program.
Oh, okay.
Well, I actually wanted to know, so now are you gonna take your project and put it in festivals and are you gonna go for the local festival?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
But, yeah, short films are now, getting very popular. On Amazon and I think even Netflix now, you can, if you don't feel like investing in a 2-hour movie,
Yeah,
there's a bunch of shorts you can pull up.
And you just like submit it.
Yeah, so I've submitted a couple places already, and see what happens. And I think we've got a very professional looking. This cut was kind of has been improved on
Yeah.
since this is an early cut.
Yeah.
But hopefully it'll.
yeah, well, I wish you good luck on the festival circuit and your submissions, so it's good. There's been a lot of successful people here in the Valley and the local film scene that in the last year or two have gotten a lot of stuff out
We've
there.
been successful.
Yeah,
We
even-
had our
Yep.
show that
Right.
went to the Mediterranean Film Festival. And
Yeah,
where else did we go? Oh, the $2.
the $2 film
It
festival.
was only $2.
$2 standard, so that makes for an
Just
easy.
$2.
But they considering the number of submissions that they got, because they literally got thousands of submissions.
Yeah.
And we were chosen.
And we were like a semifinalist
We're
in
the
that.
chosen. We're
Oh,
the chosen
that's
ones.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's pretty amazing.
But I think it's a good place to be. And I deliberately kept this thing down to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, it actually ended up 11, but because that is the spot that film
That's,
Yeah, the festivals
you're-
like-
festivals
yeah,
like
right.
to be
Yeah.
able to fit in
Yeah.
into odd moments between the features.
Right, yeah.
So it's trying to tell a story. It's okay to have a comedy sketch for 10 minutes. That works great. But trying to do a drama in 10
Yeah.
minutes and build character, that is tricky.
Yeah.
That
is
is
a
really
challenge.
tricky.
Yeah.
So it was fun though.
Yeah. Well, we're basically we're at a point now that we kind of get to the point where we kind of do a little end of interview comedy bit. So
Speaking of comedy.
Yeah. So we have some options, and so what we do is you have a choice as our guest to have an awkward moment. You can toot your own horn, and I've got some cheap
Horns.
cheap horns, cheap $1 horns, and so you can toot your own horn with one of our horns, and you get to keep the horn, by the way.
Oh.
I can't afford to do that. Or you can answer a trivia question and have a chance. Where is it? Where's my money? Right here. You can win a small cash prize
Wow.
of 100 pennies,
Wow.
but you've got to answer a trivia question correctly.
Oh, I'll definitely go
We
for
should
the
have got
trivia.
Okay.
We should have got the Mega Millions. It's up to almost $1 billion.
Yeah,
right
I
now.
got some
I
tickets.
bought 2 tickets today.
We bought, my mother and I got 3 tickets before we made it over here to
Oh, you got
Ashland.
3 tickets.
I got 3
Oh, I
tickets.
got
So,
2
okay. So, trivia question categories are tonight the 2000s, the 80s, or Sex and the City, the TV show.
Well, I guess the 80s is
Okay.
probably the safest one for me.
Alrighty. Okay.
Which one are we going with?
The 80s.
Oh, the 80s.
80s. Okay.
Oh, yes.
All right.
Oh, yes, that was my era.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, the trivia question tonight is the following. The following question comes to us via Gmail from the show's ancestral home of the Nienow clan in Mapleton, Minnesota. Crater Lake is the 5th oldest national park in the United States and the only national park in Oregon. The lake is 1,949 feet at its deepest point, making Crater Lake the deepest lake in the United States and the 9th deepest in the world. Your trivia question concerning the 80s is, what Saturday Night Live star popularized the expression, "Yeah, that's it, that's the ticket"?
I have no idea.
Wait. Say it again? Yeah,
That what Saturday Night Live star popularized the expression, yeah, that's it, that's the ticket? Wrong! It was John Lovitz.
Regina got it!
No, it was wrong. Regina was wrong. It was John Lovitz was the correct
John
answer.
Lovitz is my
Okay.
cousin!
Oh.
How funny.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, he's my
Okay.
cousin.
Well,
All righty.
guess you get to keep your pennies.
Yeah, for the next guest. So where are we at in time, Mike?
God.
21 minutes into your show, Dave.
21 minutes.
Okay, so let's quickly bring up my message to Garth Brooks. Bring up the message to Garth Brooks graphic, and we will tell Garth here. Garth, I've got my latest round of song recommendations for you for your next theme park. And so tonight, your theme park suggestion from me is Going to Church.
Ooh.
And so the songs I recommend for your next theme park is Church Bells by Carrie Underwood, Church on the Cumberland Road by Shenandoah, and My Church by Maren Morris. So that's my next theme park suggestion for you, use on your Sirius radio show. And so that is my theme park for the night. And our next we have as our musical guest, Jen Ambrose. So Jen, she is going to perform. So let's do your thing.
All right, I'm going to toot my horn, and thanks for having me on the show, and great guests. And thanks to James with Orba, too, for allowing this to happen. This is great. Okay, here we go. I'm going to toot my horn in just a moment here. Break of the day, break of the day, break of the day, break of the break of the day, break of the day. Oh, sugar, break of the day. I say break of the day. To ride again to Austin to find my song. The road it was twisted, it took so long. Some people have it, some got in my way, but I shimmied and shook till the break of day. I kept on singing despite what they say. The music has a madness, but I like to play this way. In her life ain't always easy, sometimes it's sad, and people need a music even when they feel bad. So I play the blues because I like the way it makes me shimmy and shake till the break of day. It keeps me singing despite what they say. The music has a madness, but I like to play this way. Till the break of the day, break of the day, break of the day, I play. Well, maybe I got mad, or maybe I'm lazy. I'm busting at the seams and my hair has gone crazy. I play the blues because I like the way it makes me shimmy and shake till the break of day. It keeps me singing despite what they say. Music has a madness, but I like to play this way. Break of the day.
Thank you, Jen. Yeah.
Woo!
All righty. Well, that was a wonderful performance, Jen. And Jen will be performing again on the next segment that's coming up after this one. And so, yeah.
And does she perform in town?
Yeah.
I do perform in town. Yeah, some of the local wineries, and I was over in Medford at Lark's last night.
That's right,
at their
yeah.
happy hour, and some of the concerts in the parks and such. So, yeah.
Can we find you online?
Yes, at jenambrose.org. So, yes,
nice.
I'm on there.
Yeah.
jenambrose.org. Awesome.
All right. So where are we at in the time, God, Mike?
God.
1 minute left.
Oh, really? So what's the status of the cleaning lady? Is she able to make it in, or is she called in sick again?
I paged her. I
Yeah.
haven't gotten a response yet, Dave.
Yeah, well, it's so hard to find good quality help here at the studio sometimes.
especially
Do
when it's your
guests have
mom.
to do the cleaning?
No, if the cleaning lady doesn't make it, then my crew has to like step in, so, yeah. Well, this is, yeah, okay, well, it's coming to the end of this first show, and so, we'll be back in a few minutes with our next guest, and we'll see how that goes, and,
Thanks for tuning in.
yeah.
Yeah, and we'll see you again.
Oh, really? Well, God, 15, I don't know what the hell to do with myself for 15
Keep
seconds.
talking. Come on, smoke your pipe over there.
Okay. See you in a few minutes, Road Valley. Yep.